All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to get started here. I'm just going to invite Cuttino in. Cuttino, how's it going, my brother?
What's up, brother? How you
I'm
doing?
doing pretty good, man. How's it going?
Life is okay, man. I can't complain.
That's good. That's good, my brother.
Where you based at?
I'm in Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Canada. Okay.
Canada. Yes, yes, sir. Whereabouts are you at?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Hmm.
You know what? It seems that I've been talking with a lot of people from that area lately.
From LA.
Yeah. It seems like, more people are starting to speak up about some issues that are out there and really everywhere.
Yeah, man. It's a very tough situation for a lot of people, right? It's very tricky, man. It's tricky in so many ways. It's kind of like, once you learned how to, you got my DM. I said at 6:45, I got to take my son. He has a late AAU game, and it's like an hour and a half away. So
No worries, brother. I appreciate the time that you can
yeah,
give us today.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But it's a little tricky because, it's everything is there. Your information is all there, right? Like for us to learn, and once you get a certain age, you really can't blame your parents for your childhood traumas, right? You got to go to get help.
That's right.
Or you got to talk to people. You got to write things down. There's different ways. I mean, listen, maybe back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s and even in the early 2000s, YouTube wasn't as popular. Now you have information. Now you have so much information that's out there that, you can actually use for free, And when I say that, I mean, a lot of us, and I always say this, we are kids and grown-up bodies playing adults, right? So we have our own traumas, and children think, even my son, who's 13 years old, and his friends are in the room, my 23-year-old son, who's now, he lives with me as well, and my daughter, who's 9, what I say is gold. So in saying that, I think a lot of parents are narcissists, right? In a way where male and female, I hate the whole clickbait that all men are narcissists. If you think about alienation, alienation, a lot of percent of the time, I want to say 78% of the time, is the mother's power, right? So usually a narcissist, it has power, right? Basically, let's just dumb it all the way down, right? And, this whole clickbait that everybody has, whether it's feminists or whether it's narcissists or whether it's, woke, it's like everybody wants to use these words, and they don't really understand exactly what the words really mean or where they came from. Right? So that's the Dunning-Kruger effect, where a person thinks they're like super brilliant because they read one thing or someone said it and they understood that person's definition, but they don't understand the context and the deep part of what exactly it is. So, it's an interesting play, because now you have children that are grown-ups raising babies to become children, to become an adult, and then now the cycle just keeps continuing, right?
That's right. It's a snowball
Yeah,
effect.
yeah. So it's great. It's crazy, man. My podcast, Dad's Point of View. If people don't know me out there, my name's Cuttino Mobley. I'm from Philadelphia. I lived in LA for about, I want to say 18 years now. Wow, 18 years.
Goes
18
by.
years. Yeah, it goes by, man. And always been, a mentor. Um, I became a father in 2000 with my oldest son, and it's been a listen. I can't complain though, because I have resources, I have things like that, but it is painful when you're fighting and you don't know certain things, especially about your own laws and what exactly. Judge Judy said something I'm gonna post next week. She was telling one of the mothers that she was very arrogant. She was a young girl. She said, well, I have, I'm custodial and I have the right. She's like, who said that? Because the father, she tried to kick the father out of the house. And he's like, well, I'm taking my child with me. You don't kick me out of my house. She said, well, I'm taking my, she says, no, you're not. I have the rights. So they get to court. And Judge Judy was like, who told you that? Is this something in writing? Did he do something wrong? She's like, no. It's like, somebody told me. He's like, who told you? If it wasn't the law, he's just making stuff up. And a lot of fathers think that the mother, because the mother birthed the child, that she has all the rights, basically. Right. And in the beginning, that is true because it happened to me. Right. Where, they can prevent you from signing birth certificates. They could, women can do anything. They can abort the child. They can keep the child, take you to court for child support if you don't want to. It's just so much crazy stuff that's going on.
That's right.
And, for me and being a loving children, a loving family, and wanting to be better, my major was psychology and communication. So I always want to be better, right? We all human, we mess up. But when you continuously keep messing up, it's not so much as the mistake as it is your character. And I believe that, right? And I think, when you're a grown body and you're raising children, I think the best thing you could do for the child is to become your best, right? Try to get the fears away, try to educate yourself more, try to be good to other people so your children can see that, no matter if they blue, green, red, white, purple, gay, it doesn't matter. Be a good person.
Right.
And I think we're not that. I don't think we are humane as much as we think we are, right?
Yeah.
So it's a trick.
Right.
It's tricky, brother.
It is, man. It is. And it, especially, dealing with what I deal with was parental alienation and false allegations.
Mm-hmm.
You picked on something very important, and it's these narcissistic traits that come along with all of that too, right? So, and that's the thing, day to day we're judged no matter what. We live in such a judgmental society nowadays that you really can't do anything good or bad without being judged nowadays.
Right.
And, that's what we deal with every single day in the family court system. So that's why I think it's important, that we have these discussions and, men start using that voice that we all have. It's, that fear that we have to release, because that fear is literally everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's going to be fear of some sort. And it's, how much that you can balance that fear and conquer it is what I think is the most important thing to get through any type of situation that you're dealing with.
You said a word a couple of times, and that word is fear, right? So I think it's just like racism, right? If you don't know, it's one is you're being taught, right? You're indoctrinated to be racist or prejudiced or whatever it is, and then that comes from fear, right? Of the community, the family, those people will disown you. If I do like them, and what about them? Will they leave me? I don't know who this is. I only know this group. So, that fear. And then, being a father or a mother, it's like, well, I don't really know the laws, right? So me not knowing the laws, I don't know. It's like the phrase anticipation of death is worse than death itself, right? So if I don't know the laws and I don't know my rights and I don't know certain things, you get nervous. It's not saying it's fear, because it's not, but they're cousins.
Yep.
Right? Because you fear something, you're nervous, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen, kind of thing. And it's very tedious, and it's a lot of information in the beginning to learn for yourself. And that's reaching out to people like yourself, reaching out to my guy Alan Donham, reaching out to the lady you was talking to yesterday. This morning.
Yeah, Yana.
Jonah. Yeah, Jonah. She's amazing. Just it's so much resources that are out there just to kind of have a conversation with. But I said it to say, is it overwhelming? It is, but it's better for you to understand what you're going up against, right? If I play basketball. I'm playing the Denver Nuggets. I have to understand their offense, their timeouts, their strengths, because I'm going against it, right? And people, I think we're very lazy. And one thing I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go back to it. I think men, we've become, not become, but for so many years there was roles. So the father was out working and the mother was at the house. And the mother knew more about the child being inside the house so much than the father did. So teachers, dentists, doctors, just all the interactions of all that, the father's like, oh, the mother will handle it. Mother will handle it. Mother will handle it. Before you know it, now you're distancing yourself from just the family in general.
That's
right. You just don't know. What I saw when my oldest son was younger, because I lived in another state and he was with me a lot, every summer he was with me, and during the school year I would go back and forth until he came to live with me. But at the point in time is I had to know the information, his blood type, his social security, his doctor, his pediatrician, his dentist, and the school, the grades, the teachers, the principal, because his mother wasn't in the state. She was in another state, and she had to do it on the other side.
Yeah.
So it forced me to be a little more, not self-sufficient, but more of a parent. And that's why I call myself a full-time parent, because, God forbid anything happens to anybody's children's other half, you have to take over all of it now.
That's right.
So I have to prepare myself, and being a single father living in this household, I got to know everything as well, right? I'm not trying, it's not a trick or it's not anything like that. It's like, I need to know the blood types. I need to know the doctors. I need to know the pediatricians. I need to know the dentist. I need to know the school. I need the principal, vice principal, tutors. I need to know all of it. And I write it down, right? And then they know my face when they see me. My kids' friends know me. My daughter's friends know me. My oldest son friends know me. I am in their life and they're in my life. This is a team thing. And we as men, I think we need to wake up, because see, when you let somebody do so much for you, you become a slave to them, right? And then they can use it against you. I'm pretty sure before you ever, you pillow talking with the wifey, the girlfriend, whatever, you pillow talking with him and you're saying something very intimate to him. And the men, it's hard to, really break a man down. But when he does really get intimate, he starts saying things to you. And then months, weeks, year later, whatever it is, they hold it against you. And they say something that you told them and it was very sacred.
Yeah,
it's like,
I agree.
It was like, wow, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You just did that. You used that, right?
Yeah. So,
yeah, man, it's just a very tricky thing, man. I think we need to stop being lazy and really demanding, information and going up there and really like being a part of it and letting the child see, because nothing of what you say, a lot of what you do is what they're going to copy. Yeah. So, the mom's trying to keep them away, the father's trying to you take your butt up there. It's all right, just go to the games. Because I always say this, time discovers truth. Your character is your character, right? So yep. I don't have no matches in my pocket. Everywhere I go, people love me, okay? That's not me pat myself on, because I respect humanity. I respect people. I respect their space. You go into the goddamn forest and there's bears and shit like that, but you got to look out. You got to respect their territory. It's not yours.
That's right.
Right? I leave my house. It's not my territory no more.
Yep.
I am open to the public, right?
I agree. Yep.
A lot of parents are not like that. They're very like consumed, and it's like, I deserve this. No, you don't. No. Earn respect. Earn these things because someone else is having a tough day. So, I try to teach my kids that, man. I know you go through, and I would love to hear yours as well. I'm spitting out stuff, but sorry, I'm talking too much. But
about it, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Our stories, I know for a fact, help people get these stories out, and that's the whole point of this. Something that you keep talking about, and I get this too. People are going to doubt you all the time. Mm-hmm. They're going to, and you have to accept it, and you just let them do it. So you're going to have people that are going to leave you too. I talked about this the other day. Again, you let them leave,
right?
And people are going to talk shit about you all the time. Kind of, it doesn't matter if you're doing good or you're doing bad. It's that's kind of how our society has become right now. And again, you let them, because for me, I know that I'm doing the right things regardless. I really try not to take anybody's opinion of what I do really to heart, because I know that in the long run, it does help, and it is going to make and create some change in some of these systems. I have no doubt about that at all. So I do think that it's very important that these discussions get talked about, especially with men, because we feel that, I know for a fact that myself, for many years, I felt that, it's hard to spit these things out. Um, I try to, before all of my family court battle, I was fully involved as well, worked a lot of hours. When my kids got off school, I made sure that I was home for supper, put them to bed, and then I'd go back to work. And I did that for quite a while. It did create some tension, and there's two sides to every story. I know what my story is, and I also know what her side of her story is. And it wasn't working out. So, this was in 2017 that this happened.
Right.
But everything in my family court stuff and all my false allegations that I eventually get accused of happened in 2019. So 2 years after the fact. So it's going back to character. My ex-wife, for example, she showed what her true character was in that case. Before all of that, I was praised as a great father, and I was. Many of my friends know that. I've tried to educate myself over the years. I have a degree in paralegal studies. I also have education in private investigating. I've tried to all do these things to make my kids proud. And, like you said, a lot of these things that you do in life, these secrets that you may expose to your ex or, your girlfriend, whatever the case is that you're going through, they start to get used against you. And it doesn't matter if it's a good or bad situation. And, us men need to start talking about these things, not bottling them up, not having the, macho image that everybody's supposed to go through. We've got to start standing up for ourselves and talking about these situations. It's the only way that it's actually going to help others get their stories out, but it's also going to show that, the government and the media that, the how they portray men is really not the case. We have to start thinking equally here.
And you hit something on the nose. How they portray men is not the case, but because men never spoke up, and for we're Sicilian blacks, right? So the Italians, we're not going to therapists. Blacks not going to therapists, right? Like, especially back raised in the 70s and 80s. What are you going to therapy for? What's the matter? You crazy? Like it's those things.
Yeah.
So you have to bottle that up, right? And that's like a tamed animal. That's like a lion. That's a tiger. That's a domestic, right? So you may show signs of toxic masculinity, right? But it's not toxic. It's just masculinity. So, but I'm surrounded around a female. Listen, again, I wrote something down, and I said, I'm not here in spite of women or mothers, right? I'm here for them because I have a beautiful daughter and goddaughters, and the better I can help the little boys become better men, the better picking it is for my daughter and my goddaughters, right? Yeah. That's how I'm thinking. So when I say that, the whole toxic masculinity, I think that's bullshit. Masculinity is masculinity, right? It's like telling a lion, you're too aggressive. That's the lion's nature. Now, if this lion is around a whole bunch of females or whatever it is, right? That little boy is see a whole bunch of female emotions that's uncontrollable because their father wasn't there and he was a beta opposed to an alpha, right? So she don't know how to control her emotions. It could be all types of things like that. Now the toxic part comes in with the masculinity. Right now it's toxic masculinity. You understand? So, to me, it's they can play with words and it's so tricky and there's so many different things like that. But you think about it like this, right? Women that the whole what's the TV guy? He was a movie guy and he was having sex with women and they caught him Harvey Weinstein or something like that or whatever it was. All those women for all those years were getting molested. Well, not molested, I'm sorry. All those women sexual assaults and harassments and all this stuff, and they got to do stuff to get on parts. Okay. So all those years that women were behind the scenes, cussing out, throwing shit, punching you, hitting you, you're not touching them, locking you out the house, you can't see the kids. That's not, listen, you're in Canada, and the same behavior that your ex show is the same behavior that all these other dudes here in America is doing. It's like they're reading a blueprint, a blueprint, a book. You understand? Like it's the crazy. Hold on a second. Sign it. Yeah. Right. So it's the craziest thing to me, and it's like it's okay for them to say, "Oh, sexual harassment," but it's not for us to say, "Hey, listen, they alienated us. They're actually mean, but when they go out in public, they act nice." That's not them. So sometimes you get caught up in like the Get Out. You ever seen the movie Get Out?
No, I haven't.
So watch that movie. You get in a situation where you're paralyzed. So you're out in public, and they just had a rant inside the house. They just went crazy. So now you're out in public, and they're so nice, and you're like looking at them like, I'm in trouble. This is crazy. Like, what's going on over here? This she's like Meryl Streep. She's acting amazing right now, you know? And it's a very up and down thing. And a lot of people on here, please understand, read about borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is undetected. It's very new to people that really don't understand it. And a lot of borderline personality disorder, 80-something, maybe 85% of women are that. And if you have a daughter, 50%, she has a 50% chance of becoming it. And that's more nature versus nurture, right? Because she was around her mom a lot, she's going to understand those type of tendencies and things like that. And if you don't get help, it grows, right? Because it's a characteristic. So people don't really understand those things also. But also what a borderline personality disorder is, it's a narcissist, right? So, you know what I mean? So if a man sticks up for himself and a man's demanding and a man's being a man, he's a narcissist. But if a woman's doing it, she's like girl power. Like it's just like it's too lopsided. You know what I mean? It's just too lopsided. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's my body. Okay, it's your body. Oh, well, I'm gonna have the baby. Well, he didn't want to have the baby. Well, I'm taking him to court. Damn. Okay, well, I want to have the baby. I'm the guy. Well, I don't want to have the baby. So you can abort it or you can give it up. Geez, what kind of rights do I have now? I have none, right?
Yeah.
You can keep me on. You can keep me on a birth certificate, or you don't know. I can. She can choose that. And I just don't think that it's fair in so many different. It's not fair in so many different ways. And life is not fair. We all understand this. But when you're talking about a person's life, false allegations, this ex-football player last week just won a verdict. His ex-girlfriend called her brother and his friends to go shoot up the place. Shoot up the place. So they go there to shoot up the place, and he winds up killing one of them and injuring another one. So she's on the stand, brother. She's on the stand, as arrogant as you can. I mean, when I said I wanted to go up and like I wanted to shake her, like, yo, who raised you? This man is facing murder charges, and you're sitting up there playing with words and using your emotions. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Yep. Nobody will believe you, Johnny. You're a man.
Yep.
That's one of millions.
That's right. And that, you know what, that's a powerful statement. You know, nobody will trust you because you're a man. Nobody will listen to you. And the sad thing is that she's kind of right. But, you know, at that time, that was a huge eye opener. Yes. You know, we all know that, you know, Johnny Depp obviously is well known everywhere. And, you know, so is she actually, and, you know, to be so narcissistic the way that she was, and, you know, I watched a lot of it too on The Stand. To be honest, I thought she was a shitty actor, but, you know, you could see that because I could see it in my own case, because, you know, I have also seen videos of my ex-wife, and as much as the acting is there, because you know it and it's personal for you and you've been around this person, you know exactly how they are, and, you know, eventually that character it comes to surface. And, you know, I have personal experience with it, so I know. And Johnny Depp is a prime example. You know, people started finding out exactly who Amber Heard was, and he took a beating, but you know, he held his head up high. And that's what I tell everybody is that, you know, no matter what happens, you know, they're going to try and break you. That's the whole purpose of this. It's not just the narcissistic person that's doing this. It's also the system that's allowing it to happen by continuing that conflict, and it's meant to break you. So you have to face it. Again, for many men, it's a fear. It's just a fear, brother. Like, they fear that court because they know that it's a bias. They're no matter what, it's a bias, and there's a good chance that if they stand up for themselves, anything that they're looking for, and most times they just want to see their kids, that's going to be taken away from them,
Right.
because that doesn't go along
I mean,
with what
I was so scared. I was so scared. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm Cuttino Mobley. And I was so scared. When I tell you Child Protective Services coming to my house, police, you would have thought I was the worst person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm talking about crying and tears and, threatening to call. I mean, I was like, I've never been through messy stuff like that before. And you're sitting there like, what is the matter with these people? And in their brain, they think that you're like this enemy. But then one part of them will say, oh, wow, he's such a good father. Wait, what? But then try to they try to take your children away from you, but then justify it by another action. To me, right. I would never, I'm going to fight for my children. It's not even a question.
Yep.
Right? I spent so much money, but it's worth it. It's worth it because I know how hard it is out there. Right? And me being blessed to have 4 parents, 2 fathers. My stepfather passed away my rookie year in the NBA. My stepmother actually passed away in 2019. And but my mother, my father are healthy, alive. They come out here and hang with us for a month, and they go back home and chill out, and they come back out here, and the kids love them. But I know how important it is to have a family. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have childhood friends, man. I mean, I don't know if you do, but I have childhood friends since I was a baby.
Yeah,
right?
I do too.
Right? So you look at that, and that's another part I want to tell people in here. When people are not close to their families, or they don't have childhood friends, like, that's to me is like a red flag. Like, you got to have someone, 1 or 2 people that knows this person to be able to, right? Like, I just don't know. I mean, because where do they get the energy and the resource from? They go from place to place like a chameleon, right? They just don't know their identity.
Yeah.
And me, when I'm falling off, whether it's my mom, my dad, my sister, my brothers, my best friends, my cousins, like, yo, what are you doing? What's the matter with you? You crazy? Right? And rarely am I like that where they're telling me, am I crazy? They're always coming to me to uplift. But my point is, it's like, I pride myself on just trying my best to be the best I can be, right? And being a father, being a mentor, being whatever you want to call me, I think studying yourself, understanding life, I think that helps you lead better.
That's right.
Not trying to control my children. I'm just trying to get the best out of them. But how am I going to do that? I'm going to get the best out of me. So if I'm in that cold plunge, if I'm reading books, if I'm jogging, if I'm doing this, if I'm doing that, I want them to see it consistently. Waking up early, not complaining a lot. You know what I mean? Give them kisses and hugs every single day. Like, doing those things, when they get to the teenage years and the college and then and then become young adults, they're like, wow, you know what? I'm gonna go with my dad's. I get a peace of mind, right? Some people don't want to be at the other parent's house, because it's like a lot of complaining, or it's a lot of woe is me, or it's a lot of parentified. People don't even understand that word. Where the children take on the emotions of the adult, and now they become the adult, and you're soothing your mother or your father when you should be just be a kid. I tell my kids all the time, just be a kid. Don't worry about me. Be a kid. Don't worry about me, man. I'm grown. I got this. I got your back. Yeah. When I get older, you get my back. Right now, and I got yours. Don't worry about me. It's too much worry. You worry about puberty and friends and school and this and that. Worrying about your parent because they feel sad, or they this, that, whatever, or they lonely, or that is not your responsibility. Not at all. And shame on parents for doing that. That is not something you do. No. Making it hard when you guys separate, when you got to go over to mom's house or the dad. Like, no, that's not how this is. And that's more of a parent manipulating the child indoctrinating the child. Now this is studies. This is not me speaking it.
No,
This is actual studies, and that parent has empty spaces in their heart, in their body, that wasn't covered for them when they were younger. So then now they don't understand it. So then now they're portraying it subconsciously onto their child. So now it's like, well, they don't want to leave me. No, no, no. You don't want to leave them because if they were independent. If you were independent and showed it, right? Then all of a sudden, guess, oh, I'm good. I got you. Cool. I see you tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I see you in 2 days. Okay, I'll see you in 2 days. You raise them to be strong, not to be weak and need you. That's selfish. That's a narcissist.
That's right. Yep, for sure. And basically everything that you just said covers all parental alienation. That's to a T. You can call it what it is, parental alienation, brainwashing, whatever you want to call it. It's all these narcissistic traits that these parents have, and unfortunately our kids are pawns in the system that allows it to happen. And going back to another thing that you said about the family aspect behind things and having the support and stuff like that. Like, I do understand what you were getting at, and not all of us have it. And again, this goes back to something that we were talking about with them using things against you. Mm-hmm. For me, I was the black sheep of my family, and I really still am. I didn't have a good childhood. My father was very abusive. I was abused on a daily basis. I was also sexually assaulted by a brother of his. It took me a very long time. Like, I was 27 years old before I even said anything to anybody about that. And, I did get all my family together at that point. And the very next day, they all turned their back on me, and I haven't spoken to any of them since.
Right.
So, I understand the whole needing a family.
But family doesn't have to be blood.
Then that's what I was going to get at. It does
not. People misconstrue this. Family does not have to be blood.
Yes.
Right. But if you can be able to collect friendships at a younger age, and they go with you, right? There needs to be some type of accountability, because we can all reinvent ourselves later on.
That's right. Yep.
But there needs to be some type of accountability with oneself and then the people around us, because like I was molested twice, right? And it was my stepfather's side of the family, and the two guys were gay, right? We were young, they were gay, and I was asleep at the time. So to me, I'm not embarrassed about it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know the first time. Second time, I beat him up. You know what I mean? Because it just wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Never did it again. And we were cousins. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You do you. Don't ever in your life do that again. Right?
Yep.
So he respected that. And at the time, I guess he was a curious person, whatever. Right? But, I firmly believe in you can't know yourself unless you know your surroundings. Right?
Yeah.
And when you start to really understand your surroundings, you start to really understand what you want, what you don't want, who you want to collect to. Because I can tell, like they say, the 5 people you surround yourself around, I can tell you who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you, myself, Yona, all these different people that are on here, like we want positive affirmations, reinforcement. It's like you're growing as a human being, right? What happened to us when we were younger, it happened.
Yep.
Now, what do we do now?
That's right.
Right. And I applaud you, brother, for just the fighting that you do. I don't even know the whole thing. I'm pretty sure it was some dark nights, because I'm going to tell you this, especially during COVID, when I was, because sometimes you got to go into court, then sometimes you got to be it's video. And, oh, man, I didn't know what the hell to do, man.
I know. It was very frustrating.
It was the craziest. Oh.
And see, the biggest problem, too, with what you just said is that, they switched over the court system. So now everything's online. And in my experience, like, judges, especially in family court, they're, in their 60s to 70s. Like, they're judges that are basically going to retire in a few years. And this is the retirement fund. So they can't figure out this stuff. And the amount of problems that I even personally had with it. And then, they just want these cases off their docket. So if you're not there or there's problems, well, then so be it, because our system is just so backed, and we have to just keep pushing forward. And, you're right. You know, it's a very frustrating, like a frustrating process that a lot of us men have to go through, on top of the fact that, you know, we're being alienated and this and that. So, you know, it's absolutely mind-boggling the way that this whole systems works.
Yeah, you know, we want, when you get a chance, I want you to save this and put it on yours, and then send me it. So then save it, put it on yours, and then what I'll do is I'll save it and I'll put it on mine. This talk, because people need to really hear about these things, man. Because from alienation to being parentified to emotional incest, it's the craziest stuff that people don't really understand. And father or mother, you know, me being a father, you know, I'm speaking from experience of, you know, I've seen when you're backed against the wall, and this I'm talking about, like mothers thinking their child's gonna be taken away from, or that the man gets a new girlfriend, or don't get a new girlfriend or new wife. Did you really gonna catch hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's maleficent to the
Yeah.
fullest. If you look at, let's think about this, brother. The devouring mother, the China doll mom, like all these are psychological terms, okay? If you look at it, trophy mom, mama's boy mom, like all these are these are psychology terminologies. A lot of this is in Disney.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Cinderella, right? Tangled, right? Like anything you name, Maleficent, anything you name.
Yeah.
There's that evil, like it's like a normal thing. Why would they make that up?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You
I know.
understand? Like it's like they see it, let it happen, and then exploit us when we do. Like, whoa, no, that's not. You see this? No, and did you, like, you're so, instead of trying to be calm in court or calm, but the person, you're so angry, like they're playing a trick on you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some people get in court and it's like, I've been in court where I'm sitting behind them watching the other people and the guy screaming, going crazy, like you cannot believe her, and she's coming in like already with tears and napkins, and it's the craziest thing. Listen, my mother and I are like this. We're like this. Okay, I love her to death. She's one of my best friends. Okay, my father, me and him like this. My stepmother, we were like this. My stepfather, we are tight. But me, I'm gonna tell you when you do something wrong, and I want you to tell me if I do something wrong. I learned that in sports.
Yeah.
If I know my mother's wrong, and she start that whining or that attitude or that crying, I don't do tears. We not do that. Ain't nobody die. I'm not doing them. I'm grown now. We're not doing that. I love you to death, but we're not doing that. You understand? Now, if I did something wrong, we gotta talk about it. My fault. I'm so sorry. Then let's go from here. But other than that, nope, not doing it. And that's what a lot of people, just in life in general, just think about this. I don't know if you've been through this, but this is just to help either of you if you've been through it and you felt this before. But I'm gonna use basketball as a terminology, as an example. But basically, there's parents that come in. The parents are a little soft, right? But their son comes in, and you know, me and my guys, we're a little rough. I'm from the East Coast, right? We're a little rough, you know, but we're passionate. We love you. We'll take your son with us, and you ain't gotta give us nothing. We got him. We're gonna feed him. We're gonna give him books to read. We're gonna make sure he's strong. We're gonna make sure boom, boom, boom. We're gonna keep him just like he's our son. When we on that court, we tell him, yo, let's get the fucking tears, man. What you doing? You wanna go home or you wanna play? Which one you wanna do? Make a decision. We're rough with them.
Yeah.
And you see parents in there like, thank you so much, because they can't do it. They just don't have it in them to do. You understand? But then there's their parents is like, they feel like, oh my God, no, that's too much. I'm gonna have to take them. And this is just in life, not on best. This is in life. They take them from discomfort. Not the child, but their discomfort.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to a little baby falling, and you rushing over there right away. No. Let them get themselves up, because they're reading your expression. That's what they're going to read your expression. And when they read your expression and your energy flow, because I believe in energy, that energy flow, if you seem fearful and scared, guess what they're going to start doing? Picking up on that energy.
Yep. I agree. I fully believe in energy too. And that's exactly it. It's all about the energy atmosphere that's around. And you're exactly right. If you're doing those constant things, then that's what they're seeing and that's what they're picking up on. So that's what they end up doing. And you're right. You got to take that stand and let them learn. So yeah, I fully understand what you say.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, my mom just got on here. Hey, Mom, I love you, baby. Yeah. Josh Powell, what's up, brother? I love you, man.
Josh has been a huge inspiration as well.
Yeah, Josh has been going through it, man, and that was my young fella, in the NBA. And it's another thing too is when people don't understand, they judge NBA players, right? It's so easy to judge NBA players because you make so much money and you're on TV and you think life is so amazing. That's not how this. It's not as easy as you think.
Yep.
Let me give a kid, not even NBA, okay? Let me just give a kid that's 15 years old a whole bunch of publicity, and everybody's picking him up. And then when he gets to college, everybody's picking him up. Then when he gets to the pros, it's only 450 of them that play in the NBA, 5,000 ever. So then when he gets there, he has a whole bunch of money. Changes the lives of the whole family dynamic. Change the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's been more so focused not on girls, not on finance. He's been focused on school and ball. So now it's just ball. So now you got more free time for girls, family, friends, social life. So you actually still are a little awkward, right? You don't know how to save money. You don't really say to a girl, she's going to say, I like you a lot, but she's enamored by the power, the energy that you have. She doesn't know you. You don't even know you. You mean to tell me you knew you at 21, 22, 23, 24? No, hell no. I don't even know my complete stuff now.
That's right.
Right?
We're
and
always
I'm over 50.
evolving. We're always.
So when you sit there and you're talking to these individuals, there's these females or these people, and I'm just going to go on that first and I'm going to go to family. They take what you say like it's the Bible. Opposed to saying, oh, listen, you don't owe me nothing. Let's just be friends. Protect ourselves. Because, I want to do this, you can do this, boom, boom, And it's like the Zion Williamson thing. 2 girls. The one girl, she's a porn star. And she says, oh, I can't believe you did that. What you mean? You do this for you? I don't know what you do. But regardless if he had a baby with another person, that's his prerogative. Even though that girl was older than him. You know what I mean? And he's worth $300 million right now. I'm not saying she loves him or not love him. All I'm saying is it's easy to deal with a person like that when he's $300 million.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So he's built off emotions. She's looking at something totally different. That's just my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
So it's very hard for successful people, especially when people see the success. Because I may not be flaunting money. You may just see me in the NBA. So guess what? How about this one? It's the art of war kind of thing. I'd rather see who I'm fighting than not see the person who's attacking.
That's right.
You understand? So that's the same thing where, brother, good looking, boom, you got some money. You go out to the bar, you go out to the dinner with your boys, and that person's been following you all day long, all week, all month, you don't even know it. But then they bump into you with their girlfriends just accidentally, and now all of a sudden, oh, hey, and then they play hard to get, and then now you with your guys, and you're having fun. Before you know it, you guys are sleeping together. Before you know it, you guys have a kid. Before you know it, oh, damn, now we're enemy number one. It's like, wait, well, how the hell did this happen? And listen, it was so during my career, and I'm just talking about me. Oh, I don't know. Who are you? I'm nobody. I'm just on TV every week. It's all good. I don't watch. No problem. Come and find out, weeks later, a month later, your conversation tells me that you knew who I was.
Yeah.
But people play these games. You understand? So now you get to the point where now we're gonna play this game together now.
Yeah.
Because instead of you being truthful with me, now I'm gonna play this game with you now.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not the right thing to do.
No.
But at the time in my 20s, listen, I'm sorry. Every man for himself.
Yeah.
And it's the cycle just continues and continues and continues. Things like that. So, it's very tough for, anybody who's successful, man. Anybody who's successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about politicians who up and coming. You don't think they go to certain bars where it's women who are college grads and doctors and lawyers, but it inspires to be that. But then also they're inspired to be with a politician and be married to that person and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. There's groupies there as well. There's men's groupie as well.
Yeah.
These things happen, man.
I know, but
Oh man, it's just crazy, brother.
for sure, man. Yeah, the whole dynamic of it is crazy, and it's just it boggles my mind actually that I exactly what you're saying, but there's other people that they won't understand. They would say that there's no way that these things happen, but they do, and they're just kind of like in my situation where my family didn't want to face the truth of the thing. So what happened is it got swept under the rug. And
So there's a phrase. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
yes,
You,
yep,
you know what I mean?
yep.
It's all good, right? Time discovers truth.
That's it.
That's it,
Always.
right? It's success breed clues, right? Like it's just if you want to become better, just surround yourself around it.
That's right.
Right? You want to stop complaining, keep your mouth shut. Start writing down certain stuff. Start meditating.
Yep.
Start job exercising. Start being around positive people. Because I tell people this a lot. Oh, my mom, she this a lot. Oh, my dad does this a lot. This a lot. First of all, learn boundaries. And if they don't like what you're saying, like, listen, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. Okay? When I come over here, I want to give you a hug. I want to give you a kiss. Maybe let's go for a walk. Let's talk about something positive. Sooner or later, they'll change, or they won't even speak about negative things anymore.
Yep.
They'll feel stupid doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
I do, for sure.
Yeah, man.
I've been around it, so I know exactly what you're saying. It's all perspective, and I just choose to try and remain as positive as I can. But once you start, surrounding yourself with negative people, then it starts to eat at you, and you have to then make a decision on what you want to actually accomplish. Do you want to continue in this cycle because it's all a cycle, or do you stronger? I choose to meditate. I do it on a daily basis. Every night before I go to bed, I meditate. Truly helps, and it really opens up the mind to what you need to see and what you need to focus on. And with the belief that I have that everything does happen for a reason. The universe will have your back if you do believe in it. The law of attraction works. It's proven that it works. If you have those beliefs, then you just have to, again, keep your head high, surround yourself with the positive people that you said, and just know that everything that you're doing is for the greater good of what you want to accomplish in your life.
And there's a phrase. It says, "What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? And what is a bad man but a good man's job?" And it's for us as good men to help bad men become better men.
Yep.
And that's my passion, right? So we can have better relationships that are out there. Because just because I'm single, that don't mean I'm afraid to commit or this, that. That's all phony, fugazi, fake, just an excuse for women to say. It's like, I'm secure with myself right now. I'm building myself. I have a 9-year-old daughter who I'm in love with. I have a 13-year-old son who I love to death. I have a 23-year-old son that's developing and doing his thing. And I want to be as much as possible. Now, if a female wants to come into our life because it's a package deal, all good. And if she has a family, let's all join together like the Brady Bunch. But I will not compromise time with my children just so I can get a hug from someone else. You can forget about that.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. You come in this chaos, in this controlled chaos, but you can come inside it, and I'll come in yours, and we'll figure it out. But other than that, I think that's what we need to really focus on. And when you're picking partners, and especially when you have children, it's very hard, right? Because you want that person to respect and love your children like you do as well.
Yeah.
Right. And also too is there's like I said before, when you have new partners, the old partner or whoever they are, male or female, may get upset. And now it's a lot of junkiness. And you don't want to bring people into negative, energy kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
I've been there, so I know. Again, I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about, and it's true. You're in that aspect. You are bringing in that negative energy, regardless of how you want to look at it. Yeah, because in those situations, well, you have an exit that really can't let go. I've been on both ends, so I know exactly how it is. And again, you just there's not there, that's something that you cannot control.
Mm-hmm.
So focus on the things that you can control, and that actually again would show that that's not your person. It's better to be alone than to be around something that's phony.
Yeah, for a fact, man. There's three extremely hard things in life: steal, diamond, and knowing oneself. Extremely hard. Because your first 7 to 10 years, you're being programmed. Okay? Preconceived notion. People that are surrounded around you don't even know life themselves. They're scared, right? They have issues themselves poured into you. And then you got to reboot yourself and become better. And that may take, I don't know how many years. Right? So that's one of the hardest things for us as human beings is, like steel and diamond, is to know oneself. Yep.
I agree. And then, yeah, with the topic that we're on with, family court stuff and like that, it becomes a very hard thing for many of these men out there to do that, to be able to look at themselves, because they're being looked at and judged from so many different people and from so many different angles that the confusion comes in that, it's just a hopeless feeling. And you have to be stronger than that. You have to overpower that, because again, these systems, these people, that's their goal. That's exactly what their goal is to
You have
try.
to document too. I mean, and dealing with a lot of this too is like, regardless if it's tedious or not, take a book and just every single chance you get, document things, man. Document them, write the date down, write the time down, just sit them there. And sometimes you got to just let them pile up. You know what I mean? You got to let them pile up, because sometimes you don't even want to give them an advantage or give them, hey, I know you've seen those movies before where the person's sitting there right with the person and that person sitting across from them is a killer, but they let them know that they're a killer. No, don't do that. Wait till you get free before you tell them you're a killer, so you can get out of there. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing is just like, if the most important thing for you is your children's safety and your children, and I'm not talking about no fake stuff that, I was just he did this because no, I'm talking about real safety. Not the father's going to do this to the child because the mother in her brain thinks he's going to do it and it's not really true. Not those made up stories. I'm talking about real safety. As a father, it's like, listen, she's not well, or he's not well. I'm writing this one down. Okay, cool. Right? I'm going to record this one. Okay, cool. Right? And then now that's when you start to build that case up, because they'll keep getting away with these things because it's their behavior. Right? That's a character trait that they've learned when they're in the 30s and the 40s, and that's them. They're not changing, man.
Yep.
They're not changing. They may relapse for a little bit and go back. Listen, a serial killer can kill and then wait years, go on hiatus, and then go and kill again.
Yep.
Who you are is who you are.
That's right.
I promise you that, brother.
Yep. You can't hide it forever. It eventually comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
That's right.
Coach Prescott, what's up, brother? Seeing a couple of people that's on here.
I've been trying to get the comments and stuff. Has just been rolling, and
yeah. I'm glad.
And that's a good thing, brother, because that's what we need. We need the awareness out there. We need more men standing up, more men just listening. Because that's a big part of it too. Is that some guys just want to be listened to. I've just yesterday I just listened to a father from Australia. Again, going through a very rough patch. He hasn't seen his kids in 4 years because of false allegations, the alienation and everything. And the system out there is completely broken. And he was very fearful that, you know, just because of the stats that were out there that, you know, 21 men every single day commit suicide. And from some of the stuff that he's been researching, you know, through my page as well, because I have posted some stats on fathers that have committed suicide because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked with dads that have committed suicide, and it's a tough thing. And you know, this dad was just going through some very tough emotional things at that time because of the non-progress that's being made, right? So, you know, I just needed somebody to talk to, and you know, that's what I try to do all the time is give them that person that they need. And you know, it's sad that there's not enough of us out there that do it, you know, especially here in Canada. For some reason you know, the old saying is that Canadians are too nice and stuff like that. And I
Hold on
think,
one second. Mr. E78, what did you almost do, buddy? Please explain that part, because
I'd like to see that too.
you know, we're talking about a lot of the people from suicide, and hopefully that's not what you said you almost did. You need to stick together, man. If you have to DM one of us,
That's right.
and then talk to us about this and kind of talk you off that, let's do that. You know, we've all been through it, dark nights, man. And I mean, I balled up in the corner, just scared of what the judge is going to say. And, you know, a lot of us don't have the resources that I would have. So I'm trying to put together now, you know, private investigators and lawyers that, you know, do on contingents or pro bonos or things like that, and then put a fund together to help fathers, you know, dress better when they go into court, prepare them before they go into court. And then while they're doing that, to be able to get the people like Jonah, yourself, to be able to help them through the process of like being more calm, right? Meditating, understanding things. And you know, I'm working my butt off just to try to, you know, get that type of funding. So, you know, just that better help kind of thing,
Yeah.
where guys can come and you know, I actually had a person from Philadelphia. She hasn't seen her boys in some years, and she feels alienated, and is a friend of mine from my school, high school. And she heard me on here, you know, and I had to call her, and then I called another of my guys just kind of understand the story a little bit. And you know, listen, you know, there's three sides to every story: his, hers, and the truth.
That's right. I always say that.
Yeah. So you know, it's, you know, the scary thing is that, you know, I may think mine is truth, they may think theirs is truth, but this one over here is the true truth. And you know, when you have issues and traumas inside you, the mind can be very tricky, man. It's kind of like that kid in the room where it's dark, and there's a chair, a coat on a chair. That kid thinks it's a monster. You know, I think that's how we are as parents or as adults, even with no kids. When we start to fear something, we feel attacked, or you know, different things like that.
Yeah.
And we need to you know, become better as individuals, man. And sooner or later, you know, it damages the child, because the child becomes an adult. But I think with us, you know, with this nice little group that we do have that's supporting each other, I think putting those tools together to help them, you know, maybe they want to vent. Maybe sometimes they just want 10 minutes of like cussing the spouse out, you know, maybe sometimes it's that, then breathing. And okay, from that, now what do you do, right? Because you can't just keep calling and cussing them out. We got to have a plan now, right? And I'm not saying a plan to separate, but a plan to, you know, some baby steps. You know, listen, I'm not trying to get off the team just yet. I want to figure out, do I need to get more shots up? Do I need to dribble more? Do I need to study film? Do I need to go to the coach? Like, what do I need to do to become a better teammate?
Mm-hmm.
Let's work on me first. And while I'm doing that, I'm not pushing them to be that, but let me just get myself together. Because, you know, a lot of people, a lot of women do that, where it's like, oh, we need to go to therapy. Then they get in therapy, couples therapy, and then they're talking the most, and then their emotions are involved in it. And all of a sudden, he's just sitting there like, oh, God, this manipulate shit. Like, you listening to her, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's talking the most, right? There's logic and there's practical, and there's, you know, there's emotion. So much stuff that's going on. But, no, yeah, we got to get to that point, man, and put our brains together. But I you know, I'm working on it right now. It's just to help people, not just in this country, but around the world, navigate through it, man. Just
That's right. Yeah, I agree. And you know what, brother? I think that's actually why we connected, because I'm actually on the exact same page as you, trying to create that same foundation here in Canada. But again, this is, this is a global problem. Everybody that I talk to, the situations are the same, and it doesn't matter where we're from. It's Canada, the United States, the UK, South Africa, Australia, like it's everywhere, like everywhere. And for men like us, man, these resources, they're far from what the resources are for women.
yeah,
I know, I have men all the time that reach out to me and they're like, well, what can I do? Where do I go? And, it's so limited to what you can offer them.
right.
Uh, and there needs to be more. So you're definitely on the right track there, definitely on the right path, because that's is something that I've also been working on as well. And it's much needed in this, definitely in this time of age in society, that we still have this outlook that men are almost worthless. So we need.
Yeah, like it's like a second-class citizen,
Yep,
right? It's like Judge Judy was saying that. I don't. She's like, I don't care what you believe, and I know people think this, but men are not second-class citizens,
that's right.
right? Like you got. Listen, we don't want no problems. We just want to, because. And another thing too is, before I let you go, because I see it's creeping up on my time to get my sons and them.
For sure.
But I just want people to really understand. Like I said before earlier, they didn't really I guess people who came on late, I would say they came on like kind of a little bit late. We're actually not, we're not here to like, you know, beat women up, beat mothers up. That's not. And if you feel as that's your own, I'm sorry for how you feel out there. That's not my responsibility to control your emotions. That's your responsibility. That's one. Two
Perfect.
is, I love my mother, I love my daughter, I love my sisters, I love women. I'm not for bad people who don't want to become better. I'm not going for that one, and it's not going to work. And like I said before, I have resources, but there's millions of men out there that don't have resources, that kill themselves, that are scared, that haven't seen their children in years, and I don't think that's right. One, but we're not here to spite women or mothers, right? I'm here for them because, like I said before, like I have a beautiful daughter. I have goddaughters. You know what I'm saying? Like, the better I can help the men, the boys become better men, the better picking it is for the daughters that are out there, right? So, you know, that's my goal. And if it seems harsh because I'm telling the truth doesn't mind being challenged.
Yeah, you're right. You're
The
right.
lie doesn't want you to ask another question. Like, it's just, that's what it is. Like, truth doesn't mind it.
No.
The lie is the only one that has if something's the truth, I'm going to speak on it. But the lie, now if I keep digging into that lie, you're going to start feeling uncomfortable about it.
That's
Right?
right. Yep.
You didn't feel uncomfortable about the truth. The truth is the truth.
That's right.
You just don't get to decide who tells it to you. So you can not like me all you want, but if I tell you the truth, that's what it is. You understand? You don't get to decide what the truth is. Truth is the truth.
Yep. You're right, brother.
So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. If you're not seeing your child, if you can, maybe send them a text message, if you can go and wave to them from a distance. I'm sorry, it's like that sometimes. We're going to fight through it, stick together. Fathers are superheroes too. I say that all the time.
That's right. Well, like my shirt says, dads matter too.
Yes,
We
for sure.
definitely on Sunday, Sunday, brother, is going to be a hard day for a lot of men out there. And, I know how it is. I'm going to be one of those men that's not going to be able to talk to my kids. But I look at the more positive side of things, and I look at how I can help other men. So on Sunday, I'm going to go live for 4 hours. If there's any guys out there that are feeling, these feelings that you're going to get, feel free to hop on the live. We can talk. We can work things out. It's very important that, all fathers stick together on this day that are going to be troubled by, the decisions that are being made currently in their divorce, their separation, whatever that they're going through. And it's not fair to our kids, but we will stand together. We'll unite on
Yeah.
this. We're going to compassion, and you know, it's very important that people understand these issues. So, man, I appreciate your time tonight, and
Thank
I hope your weekend goes well. I hope you have a great Father's Day too.
you. Yeah, man. Listen, Father's Day is every day for us, right? But
That's right.
what I'll do is for Sunday, man, I'll catch you on here. I'll come and say hi. If we can, and any other fathers out there, we'll all load up and, you know, wish the other fathers happy Father's Day. Father's Day is every day, just like Mother's Day is.
That's right.
Keep being amazing. Just keep standing up for yourself. Keep if you can hug your children, hug them. If you can write a 2, 3, 4 sentence paragraph each day, write a journal to them to let them know, save it, and then once it's time for you to see them, give it to them, and pour out your heart, man, to them in that journal. It could be 3 or 4 sentences a day, and just writing the time down, writing the date down, and make that a project for yourself and your child so they can understand that you do love them and you're fighting from behind the closed door. Once that door opens, you know, life becomes so much better.
That's right, brother.
All
Perfectly
right.
put. Perfectly put. So again, brother, I appreciate your time. That's enough that I'm going to take of it tonight. And you got stuff to do with your children, so go and enjoy your kids, brother.
All right, brother. Yeah. So when you save this, when you put it on, let me know. Then I'm going to save it, and then I'll put it on mine.
For sure,
I
100%,
got
brother.
it. I'll talk
All
to
right,
you.
talk to you soon.
Yep.
Ciao. All right, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Again, on Sunday, it's going to be a tough day for a lot of fathers out there, and I completely understand because I'm going to be one of them. But I'm going to use every lesson that I've learned, the support that I have, and with the universe backing me, we're going to help, we're going to create change, and we're going to be there for you. So tune in Sunday. I'll give everybody an update on what time, and happy Father's Day. Thank you, Cuttino, for your time today. You are an absolute inspiration to everybody out there, not because of, you know, your status as an athlete and an NBA star, but because of the person that you are. So you're on the right path, brother. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody's time tonight. Have a good day. Keep telling your truth.